about y'all. Come on, all the shit they said about us, it's time for us to get out there and short
What
shit.
you here for? Strictly business. Yeah. You want a job or get rich? I'm bossed up. 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 Got boss in my IV. Just check my ID, and that's why I be the HNIC. People despise me. My services ain't free. Ain't trying to hear your story, homie. Cop me, no please. In high school, corner, quarterback. Nowadays, corner, quarter sack. Keep that on the low, rappers turning into rats. Fly snitching on they self, DEA ransack.
Yes. What's good? What's popping? Moolah Jackson in the building, but I got Trent. We got Trent in the building. You already know. You know, little bro's in the building, so we're gonna chop it up. We was on his show on Tuesday, and we didn't get to go through a lot of stuff because we get to arguing and stuff. So it is what it is. So, I'm gonna start off with some bullshit, not bullshit, but just some shit because we had the conversation. I'm gonna get your opinion on this because you know how they've been having the wide receiver NFL versus basketball conversation. Who's got the better athletes? So this video come up just this week. Now, that's some sorry shit. That's all I'm gonna say with that. But my stance has always been football players are the most athletic players in sports. Where do you stand on that?
I'll probably stand on that. But yeah, because I don't think there's not a lot of basketball players can do what football players do. I kind of feel like it's in the same realm too, like opposite ways. But I think it would be easier for a football player to translate because we've seen it more often than not. Like, what's his name? Right. Antonio Gates used to hoop, D-Hop used to hoop, Jimmy Graham used to hoop, Julius Peppers used to hoop, and they were all really good. I don't know for like a basketball player that converted to football and did something with it. So, yeah can't.
And that's it. I don't know about that one. And my thing is, it's like football players play basketball and just to get in shape. Like basketball players do not play football in their spare time.
Yeah, they don't. They don't at all. That's what I said. So it's like you didn't see players play in hoop pretty well. Football players, basketball. I don't know. I do think like if Zion played football, he'd be crazy.
You think? I think he'd get fucked up.
It
would depend on the position. It would depend on the position for me where he would be.
What do you think he would play?
I think anything outside of the D line, he gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Zion's a D lineman.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. Like,
people like,
D lineman.
People like, he could play tight end. I'm like, nah, he can't. He ain't playing no damn tight end.
Yeah, just Zion would be nice if he played football. Let me think. I think Anthony Edwards would be a good skill position, probably like receiver, probably running back. Like,
I don't know. See, and he played football at some point.
So
before.
It just depends. It really depends. For real. We already seen Jalen Suggs. He was a 3-star three-star quarterback coming out of high school. So I know he can play football. So it just depends. But I definitely sort of the football is the more athletic side than the basketball.
Yeah, because I'm just like, first, football is not built for tall people, and there's too many tall people in basketball. It's just not going to work.
It's not built for giants. You can't be a giant. You can be like moderately tall.
You can't be a giant though.
You just can't be.
I think the most you can be is 6'9", because Joe Alt is basically 6'9".
Yeah, but he's an offensive tackle though. But most of them 6'9" dudes is like they're not built like Joe Alt.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So it's
that's true. Because my brother's 6'8", and he another one of them giant niggas. You know what I mean? So you just can't be like on that type of side playing like a skill position, or it's not gonna work out.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So I got this. I got Matter of fact, Trent, I may have to bring you back because I was looking for another wide receiver or tight end or something because I'm trying to do my receiver versus DB shit again. And I got 2 DBs. I needed another dude. So you might have to be the other guy.
You talking about which one is harder?
Yeah.
But I'm on the DB side, though. And
all right,
I don't.
all right, then you stay over there. You stay over there.
DB side. I generally believe DB is the hardest position to play outside of
Why
coverage.
would you think that?
You have to guard a player backwards full speed.
No, you don't. Only if you play in man coverage. And you're turning and running after a certain point.
But still, though, you still how hard that is, though. Like you got to backpedal. Bro, there's so much. Like, bro, come on, bro.
Trent, how much information from tight end? How much information do you have to process in 3.5 seconds?
A lot, but
and catch a football and in traffic. Like the amount of information
but you
have
gotta
to process.
Corners usually gotta play the run. Like I said, you gotta know all your coverages, know all the right assignments, wherever you're third, wherever you guarding. And then and man to man, like bro, you have to guard somebody backwards full speed. You can't break on sudden moves. You gotta stay solid the whole like that's
Trent, you play tight end, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you rather do? Guard Tyreek Hill or try to block Myles Garrett?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trolling when I say this. I dead ass rather guard. I would rather block Myles Garrett. I'm not.
You
trolling.
crazy? You out your mind?
I'm not going to sit back there and guard Tyreek Hill. That's not happening.
You got help guarding Tyreek Hill. You got no help blocking Myles Garrett.
I mean, it depends on what the block is, but just like how it depends on what the coverage is. And now if it's a one-on-one block, if it's a one-on-one block, all right, I might lean towards Myles Garrett. I mean, I'd rather guard Tyreek Hill, but I don't know about that one.
You know, if you're a corner, you at least have some semblance of an idea. I can kind of run with the dude that's across from me because that's why I'm here. When you playing tight end and you got Myles Garrett, like you got to deal with this big behemoth. I'm not doing all that. JJ Watt and all them. I'm not doing that.
As somebody who played tight end and had a moment like that when Eric Armstead lined up across from me, I hear what you're saying, Mel. Trust me, I hear what you're saying. I get you, but I'm not saying that I would rather do that on a consistent basis than guard. You feel me?
No, I'm not doing
like. I'm probably taking Tyreek Hill because
I don't block some. I don't block some players that. I don't block some players that are in the league. Now, are they Myles Garrett type of players? No, but they still very damn good players. But guarding Tyreek Hill, that's that. Yeah, I'm good.
The only reason why I picked Tyreek is because I know me as a DB personally, I be cheating. Okay, I'm a cheater. You feel me? I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I be cheating. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna trip this nigga. Something's gonna give me the advantage in some way, shape, or form.
Look, you can play off coverage on Tyreek. There is no off blocking Myles Garrett.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. I agree. But I'm taking my chances. I ain't taking my chances. I'm sorry. I just can't do it.
Okay. I bring that up because I got a clip. I'm trying to get this kid on the chart. I inboxed him. He got scared after a while. Because this kind of piggybacks off of what we was talking about on Tuesday, because it brings up Marvin Harrison and route running. So, Trent, tell me what you see. Mole, tell me what you see, because I had an argument with this kid. Well, you'll see what he says, but let's go.
Only Marvin Harrison. Watch this move that he makes on him. Bing right here. Christmas. I'm going to tell y'all that this is going to be a hot take off the rip. I was watching Marvin Harrison Jr.'s highlights, and you guys told me he learned from his dad. His dad was a supreme route runner. I just want to let y'all know that whoever that DB was garbage. Mind you, we love the Ravens. Marvin Harrison, watch this move. My brother, this route is absolutely strapped nowadays, bro. Any DB, though. Any DB. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened here and why the DB got cooked. I always say, once a nigga start out like this, he just asking to get cooked. Cause all you gotta do is press him right here. He gotta turn around, and then you can do whatever you want with him. Whether you wanna come back, cause once he turns, it's GG's, bro. You feel me? The best thing a DB can do with any receiver is put your hands on him. Y'all get to playing off like this. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck how fast you are. This shit is chalked. What? That's all he did was just press outside. GG's. You feel me? Oh. Bing right here. But like, let's be honest. This route is getting strapped today's game, bro.
I mean,
okay.
Well, number one, he not too much. He doing too much on Chris McAllister. You got to chill out. That was too much.
Exactly. That's no. I was going to get to that.
Say,
I was like, yeah, okay. You
Chris,
disrespected Chris McAllister. Chris McAllister was dead nice. He don't get talked about enough. But I mean, it was just a great route off the simple fact he got in his blind spot. It just looked ugly. So I'm not going to say it's a bad route. You can't say that. Right.
And that's what I tried. That's what I was trying to tell homie in the chat in the comments. I was like, because he played. The crazy thing about it is he played.
He played at HBCU. I know who he is.
He plays at Townsend, and that's what I was telling him. I was like, my daughter just graduated from Townsend. I went to University of Maryland. I said, we got connections. Come on the show. We can talk about it. So him not under. I said you should understand, like getting in the blind spot. I don't got to do extra bullshit. If
you don't got to do nothing. Once you get in the blind spot, I can go left, right, up, down. It don't matter.
It don't matter. I slam on the brakes. I can do a lot of things. That's a part of good route running. It's not just, extra moves. The less movement you can make in a route, the easier it is going to be for you.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm trying to get him on the show so we can talk about it. But sometimes
that's a good answer. The funny part about this is the reason why Chris even turned like that is not because of the cut or not because of the break. It's because of the punt from the quarterback. He's in zone coverage, so he's obviously going to be reading the quarterback. So if the quarterback's shoulders go here and Marvin Harrison cuts or breaks like he's going to go to the post or to the corner, and he breaks to the post, the quarterback is going to pump. It's going to get the corner to look, and it's going to cause Marvin Harrison to be open. So it's like it's not a bad route. It's actually a good route. It's just like y'all said, it looks bad, and it's actually great quarterback play because the quarterback got him jumping, as we like to call it, right? Got him looking, got him jumping to act like he was going to the corner, but he hit him with the post wide open. That's just beautiful quarterback play along with a great route.
And that goes back to the video I made a couple weeks ago. Like, this is why you don't look at quarterbacks. You read route combos, and if you read route combos, you are less susceptible to bullshit like that. And like Trent said, I played with Chris, very underrated cornerback.
Very.
Mm-hmm. Like, I always bring him up when I talk about cornerbacks because I don't think he gets enough love for that.
Right. But yeah, that's a good route. I was like, it was like I said, it didn't look too well, but he did his job, so I'm never gonna say that's a bad route.
All right, so let's get to route running because it's been on these last couple of days. I've been having conversations. It's been on my soul.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that Calvin Johnson. No, was it Julio Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Which one? It don't matter.
Julio.
But the biggest thing was that Jerry Rice runs better routes than Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
It's not a lie.
It's a lie.
It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie.
It's a lie. Trent,
it's not a lie. I'm dead serious. It's not a lie.
The reason why it's a lie, and like I said, Jerry Rice ran very good routes in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
In 2025, that bullshit don't work.
But hold on, but this is where I disagree on because I agree with if you start naming other receivers, yeah. But me personally, it's kind of weird that we're disagreeing on this part. I think Jerry ran routes like the people ran it at 8. So that's why I still think Jerry Rice is the top 5 route ever. I don't think it's a case for the GOAT. I think he's like in like the 4 or 5-ish range. No, I think like my 5-ish range. But Jerry was still running routes for real, like he was. Like people like the what's his name, the Stephon Diggs of the world, the Coops, the Steve Smiths, the Stevie Johnsons. Like I think he did. I think he's the only one in that era who was doing it.
No, see, and that's what but then this is where we come to old head and the YN. You still a YN, you young.
Yeah.
So if you and you can ask your pops about it because your pops should know a lot of what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
So how much Henry Ellert tape did you watch?
Henry, not much. I know of him. I haven't watched for it like that.
Okay, so if we're going to talk route runners, Henry Ellert is one of the few dudes that I watched, and he runs it don't matter what the route is, full speed, in, out, slants, post, comebacks, corner routes. He never throttles down. He doesn't lose momentum when going through his routes. That's why he created so much separation.
Okay.
Steve Largent.
I'll go watch it because I know of him. I haven't watched him at all.
Yeah, like Steve Largent. If you're gonna talk about dudes that was route run, and he wasn't even fast like that, but how he got open was his technique. He was a route technician.
I think he was ahead of his time, but I don't think he in the combos that we're talking about right now. I think he was ahead of his time though. But that's just hard. That's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. I mean, because if we're gonna talk about guys from back then, we got to talk about the Andre Reeds, the Andre Risons. Who else? Gary Clark, Mark Clayton.
Yeah.
Like there was guys. And and then I think back then, like I said, we're just gonna piggyback off of the conversation from this week. It's just like the way football is played today and the way it was played back then are two totally different things, especially at the wide receiver position, because when you got a dude to play X, he was just your bigger wide receiver.
He was a bigger wide receiver.
And the dude that was your Z was just your fast, more shifty slot wide receiver.
Yeah.
And
it's just okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm, go ahead.
Now I was just saying, I think it's just my problem. It's just like my problem is not the game back. Actually, it kind of is a little bit back then.
I'm gonna get to Tim Brown in this. I'm gonna get to Tim Brown in a second. Because he yelled at me about Tim Brown on Tuesday.
Yeah, he's not better than Calvin Johnson. I'm sorry. My problem is when we're ranking, for example, and I know you hate Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why, but we can get to that later. But like I said in my comments, when I got people in my comments saying like, "Oh yeah, John Elway is definitely better than Aaron Rodgers," I just like, are you on crack? Like that doesn't make any sense. It's like there's no way you watch them two and just say, "Damn, like John Elway, I can't. Like that's not possible. That's not possible."
And I think that's where
that'd be my main issue with it. Like
right, but I think that's why I want to talk. That's why I was like, I'm glad you came on today so we can, because we don't got 8,000 people talking at the same time, so we can have the conversation. Yeah. So, okay, when we're talking about who's better and greatest of all time, those two conversations are different.
I agree.
Right? Okay. And I think we kind of got to that at the end of the show. And that's where it kind of I got more clarification on it. When we're talking about, the best wide receivers, we're going to talk about skill set. We're going to talk about, and then I think we still have to separate it because I can't compare what someone like Odell Beckham does to what someone like a Michael Irvin or Chris Carter would do. Just because they were asked to do two different things and the way their bodies are shaped, just different. But if we're going to talk about all time, this is where what you did with what you got comes into play.
I agree.
Okay. See, that's what we was trying to get.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I said at the end we finally came in because we was just arguing so much because early just be pissing me off. I think there's a difference between if you went like, for example, you want to say Tim Brown is greater than Calvin Johnson just because off the fact that more longevity, this and that, Calvin retired early, this and that. I'm cool. Like I have no problem with that. No issue. Like, for example, who's another receiver? If people want to say like I said, when you brought up Larry Fitzgerald, you want to say he's greater than AB because, of course, AB had that legendary 7-year stretch, him and Julio. And after that, injuries, and then AB with the whole shit that he was wilding with. Larry had like a 20-year career, and he was still putting up numbers. He was like 36. Okay, cool. And if you want to say Larry is better than both of them, I think that's fine. But once we started doing other names and saying the word better, that's where I kind of like.
Okay, that's where I want to go today. Okay, so when we're talking about wide receivers as a whole, we're not talking about stats, and we're not going to throw all that shit out the window. All that's out the window. All that shit is gone. This is just who they are as players.
Word.
You really think Calvin Johnson is better than Tim Brown?
Wholeheartedly, 1,000%. No question about it.
That is cool.
No question about it. I'm not thinking twice. I'm sorry.
That is cocaine right there.
I'm not gonna lie. The only wide receivers.
So who do you think is better than as a wide receiver than Calvin Johnson?
All right, better. Randy, well, still, that's my goal. Randy.
Jerry, because you are.
Okay, my bad. Yeah. Randy, Jerry, T.O. After that, I think I had Larry, but to me, I think Larry and Calvin are flip flop. If I want, I think he's right there. After that 3, that 4 or 5-ish, Calvin Johnson is right there. We talking about the best. He's the best right there. The best. Okay. He's right there. He's right there.
So you think? I mean, speed-wise, I think him and Tim Brown are pretty much even. Okay. Hands-wise, I think they're. I mean, I probably would take Tim Brown over Calvin.
Yeah, so I flip that. I'm going Calvin Johnson. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Y'all love Yak. Tim Brown was a Yak demon.
But nah. Look, who's not even the best Johnson? See, yeah, he's tripping. Yeah, we can talk about he's tripping.
I've always said Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson is who everybody thinks Calvin Johnson is.
That's bonkers, bro. That's so bonkers. I'm not gonna lie.
First of all, your boy right here is the best Johnson. Okay, I don't know what these other niggas talking about. I'm the best Johnson. Everybody else is the second place, nigga. I'm just saying.
No, but I would lean. I think Yak, hands, deep threat ability, big play ability. I'll get towards Calvin, and I'm not even trying to violate Tim Brown, but I genuinely believe wholeheartedly that Calvin Johnson is 1,000% better than Tim Brown.
The dude who was the first wide receiver to win the Heisman.
That shit sound good.
The dude, hands, speed, all that. Like he's.
And mind you, Calvin Johnson's built like a defensive end, doing what he was doing on the field.
Who was Tim Brown's quarterback?
Nah, I'm be honest with you. It's not. He had a bunch of BS. I'll give you that. But I don't think just because he had worse QB play doesn't make him better than Calvin Johnson.
But
DeAndre Hopkins had worse QB play than Calvin Johnson. There's no possible way, no argument that DeAndre Hopkins is a better wide receiver than Calvin Johnson. I think that's crazy. I think that's insane. And I love D-Hop. But I don't I think the only thing that D-Hop has in the range. No, I would say D-Hop hands are better. But that's it. I agree. That's it though.
But that's it. Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't give him anything else outside of that. But I think what happens is with Calvin Johnson, this is just my argument. I always do this. Mm-hmm. When people are going to look in the record books, they're going to see Calvin Johnson, all these yards, the catches, the single season record. They're going to see Cooper Kupp. They're going to see that Triple Crown. Then they're going to see Puka Nacua with the single season rookie record. And it's going to say Matthew Stafford.
But see, that's you being nasty, Mel. You being nasty.
I'm just saying.
You have to leave Calvin Johnson out that part because what he would come on, bro. Come on. Let's not do that part Let's not do that part. Was Calvin not nice, or he was just getting the ball through to him 170 times a season? Bro, come on, bro. Every wide receiver gets force fit like that. Let's not come on.
Because all right, this is a game. I want to do this because I knew I want to do this. This is I wanted new music for this because I wanted to do like a blind reaction. This was going to be my I'm gonna call it old head magic. This is what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
These are just numbers.
Okay.
72 catches, 1,173 yards, 11 touchdowns, 123 catches, 1686, 14, 106. You see the numbers.
Yeah.
Now, are these comparable? Are they the same? Are they one better than the other?
You know I'm not that big of a numbers guy. But yeah, these are elite numbers on both sides.
Right.
Because I know obviously the bottom is Calvin Johnson, and probably the top, probably Tim Brown or something like that.
Not even.
Who was it? Who was it? Herman Moore? You think they're in the same round?
What I'm saying is because what happens with and it's not you. I'm not saying this is you.
Because Herman Moore was a guy. He was tough.
Your guys would be like, oh well, they're peaks. And I'm like, some niggas have really dope ass peaks. It don't put them in top 5, top 10 conversations.
But here's the thing though. I think when people talk about peaks, especially me too, I'm not just including the numbers part. I'm just talking about like their peak ability as their football ability. That's why people talk about it.
Herman Moore was a monster.
Herman Moore was a truth. Like Herman Moore, that's why I said there's some guys back then that were dead nice, and I think there are some players that are timeless, but I think the floor of the players that we have now just wipes the floor back in the day. That's just what we talk about.
You really think? Okay. So you think the players today better than yesterday?
So so usually when I have these conversations, I'm usually talking about the skill positions, the O line, D lineman part. You start.
I'm just talking. I'm really just sticking to wide receiver today.
Yeah. Well, specifically wide receiver. Oh, I wholeheartedly believe the receivers today. Well, to me, the receivers from the 2000s and up cleared like 80s and 90s. Not close.
Okay. So I did a little bit of research, not a lot, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I'm just gonna go last year. I'm gonna pick up last year. What? Jamar Chase, 127 catches, 17 touchdowns.
Fact.
Triple crown, that won the league.
Yeah.
Then Justin Jefferson had 103 for 1533.
Mm-hmm.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, 115 for 1263. I'm looking at it. Only 2 receivers had more than 1,300 yards. That was Calvin Johnson. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
I think it was, but I do think that was a down year for a receiver play this year. But I get what you're saying though.
Okay. Now, 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Because you also said Isaac Bruce wasn't bad.
Isaac Bruce is the truth. He can't touch the floor with AB. I'm sorry.
Isaac Bruce.
I'm sorry.
Isaac Bruce had 119 catches for 1781.
Facts.
He wasn't even an all-pro.
Yeah, because that was one of y'all crazy years. That's the Chris Carter year, the Herman Moore year. That's I'm thinking that's the Jerry Rice year still when he had 1,800 yards. Yeah, Michael Irvin went crazy that year. I even had like Robert Brooks going crazy. Yeah, I remember that year. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was in 95.
I know.
Now,
facts.
Normally, if a motherfucker has 119 catches and 1,700 yards, you figure, hey, you had a dope ass year, brother.
With 13 touchdowns.
Right. You would think that a motherfucker with 123 catches would do damage, and then you find out there was another nigga with 122 and 1848.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. But Isaac Bruce is the top of the 90s receivers, though. That's why I don't think he's better than Antonio Brown. That's what it is.
Then there was 10 dudes with over 1,300 yards. Calvin Johnson not better than Mike Evans.
Okay, no. He said his career. You want to say his career is not better because he retired early? I guess, bro. Fine. Yeah, I'm not about to shit on the Bucks player when I'm about to go see them in a month.
No, we're not gonna see. I'm not gonna do that. Like, see, and what the cool part about all this is that I want you to. At some point, I want you to get a camera and I want you to go up to Baker and be like, Baker, I'm just doing this for my boy Mel because I talk crazy shit about you. He was the only nigga that backed you on our podcast, and just say I apologize.
All right, cool. I'll do it. No bullshit. I'll do it. I'll do it
Because y'all was talking crazy shit about Baker.
Nah, because I thought he was bad at one point. Nah, so I'll give you that. But definitely thought he was bad at one point.
But my biggest thing is where I was getting with all that is I think what happened, the route running and the complexity of the passing games has gotten way better than what
you said. What?
The route running, the complexity of the passing games, the freedom of wide receivers being able to do what they do today. Like we didn't have, like if you had a post route, you just ran a post route. There was no changing that shit. There was no adjusting the route. There was none of that. Only teams that did that was the Falcons and the Oilers because they had to run and shoot. But if you was running a curl route and they were sitting in cover 2, you strapped up. It is what it is. But today's wide receivers have the ability to read and make adjustments on the fly that they, guys wasn't able to do back in the day. The route tree is more expansive today than what it was back then.
Yeah.
And then you get the training and all of the things. That's why, like I said, it doesn't diminish the guys that I have in my top 10 like that because they're older, and the guys today are better in the sense of what it takes to play the position. I just totally understand that what they did in their time is still. I mean, you got to think about it. Like this dude, they pass the ball more now than they did back then, and these dudes can't even get close to some of the records that they got right now.
Yeah, that's why I say. That's why I respect the top of the dudes in that chain for like. That's why I like the Jerrys, the Isaacs, the Tories. Like I respect them. I just think that at some point, I think they get passed up. That's all I'm saying. By certain players that have came in the game like from 2000 and up.
Career wise or just talent wise?
As a like the better receiver wise, because the career wise, like I usually just when I'm ranking my like the top 2 receivers all the time, I'm usually going off best because if I think I'm the better player than you and I still have an elite career, I'm better than you. That's just how I view it as a player, because that's just if we go trait for trait and I'm taking all the traits while I still have an elite career, yeah, you might have like 50 more catches than me, you might have like 1,000 more yards than me, and you might have like 20 more touchdowns than me. So I think if I go trait for trait, I take that over you, I'm better than you. That's just how I feel. Like,
but don't you think at some point the traits would present themselves on the football field?
I mean, I think it did though. It depends how people get their touchdowns, how to get their like. I think they did though. If like for example, career wise, T.O. and Randy Moss' career is. I think I've seen the comparison like I think it's close. Like I think yards is like Randy by like I don't know. I've seen the screenshot before. I've definitely seen the screenshot before. But I think when you go trait for trait, I think you will lean towards Randy Moss, and that's why I always say Randy Moss is better than T.O. because he has the better traits of the receiver. But they both had elite careers as a wide receiver, if you get what I'm saying.
When you talk traits, how much do you factor motor? And this is one thing. I'm an old head, so I'm gonna bring this up. Blocking.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I value blocking highly for tight ends. I don't value blocking like that for receivers because I think, receivers, you can make a great block and you didn't even block for real as a wide receiver. You can do that as wide receivers. You can't do that like as a tight end. Like,
you can see because what I mean by that is that's why I take points away from Randy in my eyes, because I'm not saying you got to pancake anybody. I'm just saying
you got to show more effort.
Right. And go ahead. Yeah. No, You know I don't fuck with Randy Moss. That's just. I mean, like if we're going to have, like I said, because I'm looking at what he does as a whole, and I'm going to factor in on run plays. There's times he don't even leave the line of scrimmage. He'll walk off.
Oh,
I'm like
you
you can't do that, dog. Like you're gonna get your running back fucked up.
Yeah, I feel like that's lame. Well, I don't tax it that much.
Yeah, I know. I know y'all don't tax it like that. But
and to be honest, and bro, talking about he brought the not gonna bring up the Oakland year. I mean, his first year wasn't that bad. It was the second year because I remember because we had interviewed Ronald Curry. I think Ronald Curry was the leader in receiving yards that year. You want to but that's context and number Randy Moss years. But if you want to tax him for that, I don't personally tax him for 2 years. But no, yeah, I'm just responding to that comment.
I do
the Oakland year
because I'm salty.
I mean, Moose, aren't you from Oakland?
Born and raised in the Bay, so I'm for surely salty. Randy should have gave us more effort. I cry right now.
No, yeah, I can understand that real part. I can understand.
So I understand that with the wide receivers. We also went and we talked about quarterbacks for a second. You think Tom Brady is more talented than Matthew Stafford?
No. That's not what I said. He's not more talented, of course, like arm talent. I'm talking about who is the better quarterback. If I had to pick a quarterback between, like, if all these quarterbacks were lined up, like we playing football on the field, and I got to pick you. If it's Matthew Stafford or Tom Brady, I'm easily picking Tom Brady. I'm not thinking twice.
So you think he's better?
Yeah.
I don't think
now so. Matthew Stafford has the more talented arm. Of course.
But
Anthony Richardson is more talented than Tom. Anthony Richardson is more talented than half of the quarterback football league. He's more talented than half of the league, probably majority of the league. And he has one of the Anthony Richardson as a talent, not as a arm is through the roof.
He throws the ball through the roof. He throws the ball through the roof.
I see what he's saying though. I see what he's saying.
Like I'm saying, like when you talk about because I view like who's the better player versus like who's more talented, different. Like I view that
right. And that's why I was asking because it's like
definitely
because the Anthony Richardson stuff is does he have a big arm? Yes. Does he know where it's going? No.
Yeah, sometimes he don't know it's going. Sometimes it do.
He's big. But
the thing though, that's because the reason why he got drafted so high. If he hits his ceiling, if he ever hit his ceiling, that's damn near top 5 quarterback in the game. I'm not gonna lie, because his talent is through the roof. 4.3 speed as a quarterback. I'm 6'5", 245. Got one of the strongest arms in the league. That's why he got drafted so high because of the talent. And the thing is, when you watch his tape at Florida in college, it wasn't that good for real. Like, it wasn't. But that's why the draft is all about traits and talent, because that's why what's his name? He went top 5. Like, even like Shador. And I had Shador as a first round quarterback. You can see why if somebody want to say he's not a first round quarterback. You can see why I disagree about it. I disagree about it.
Yeah.
I disagree about it.
Definitely.
I definitely disagree about it. But when I had basically all my people on my panel and a bunch of people saying he's a second round quarterback, third round type of guy, I'm not like, I just disagree about it. But like, there's a reason why Cam went number 1 and Shador. I think Shador fell for other reasons, but he fell for other reasons. But also too, he was like, it went from Shador like top 5, then they kept saying Saints, then it went to the Steelers. Like, he was dropping. So it's like at some point the league didn't view him as a top 5 talent, plus all the shit that comes, the baggage that comes with Shador Sanders.
I don't think the league didn't view him as a top 5 talent, because literally just the year before they had him as the number 1 quarterback coming out in the draft.
Yeah, but you gotta take those with a grain of salt, because it's like it depends how it works out. Like, that's why it's like the Shador thing, bro. It's weird, bro.
It was non-football. All that was non-football related garbage. It had nothing to do with what actually happened between the lines and on the football field. There was external stuff. It was stupid, and they're going to eat. I mean, they're going to eat all of that. I mean, I got Colin Cowherd already. I'm going to get to that later on about Shador. But yeah, all of them gonna wind up because they're all backpedaling now.
But to circle back, you think like as a better quarterback, Matthew Stafford's better than Tom Brady?
As a talent, yes.
Well, yeah. When you talking about like talent, yeah. But when you start trait wise, I don't know.
Trait wise, because this is what happened. Tom Brady coming up because I watched him in Michigan. I knew what he was in Michigan. He wasn't better than Drew Henson. He wasn't better than Ty Collins. Like he was the third, fourth string quarterback.
He was the third, fourth string guy.
Yeah, he waited his time out, and then he got his shot. And even when he played, he wasn't like amazing.
He wasn't that good.
He was solid. And then he went to the Patriots. And we always talk about if you land in the right situation, that situation can help you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened to Tom Brady, where he was allowed to gain the confidence, gain the more knowledge of the game. Bill Belichick helping out as much as he did, because I honestly think if I'm a quarterback, this is just me. But I'm an offensive guy, so I'm just a little different. But if I was a quarterback, I would want to go to a defensive-minded head coach, because the way that they would coach you is going to be from a defensive mindset. They're going to tell you how the defense is going to play, what they want to take away from you, what they're going to show you, what they think your weaknesses are. So now you know how to attack that.
That might be an old school thing for real, because I'm not gonna lie. If I'm a quarterback, I want an offensive minded coach. Like I would rather have like a
no. That's why I said it helped him because of that. I'm an offensive guy, so every quarterback I got shined because I think, and then I also kind of think defensively too, because I play defense. So
that's the best part.
Yeah. So there's that part of it. But as far as arm strength, ability to make every single throw, Tom Brady kind of grew into that guy. Matthew Stafford was that coming out of high school.
Fair.
That's why he had more talent coming out. But like, okay, put it like this: Matthew Stafford started out the gate like better, and then when Tom Brady became who he was, I think that's why it's a gap. Like it's a significant gap.
Yeah, it's a gap because. But now we're looking at their careers. We're not, because we saw exactly what happened when Matthew Stafford was able to have talent around him. Like, it clicked really fast. Like, it wasn't, we got a learning curve. Nah, nigga, we taking off right off the rip.
So let me ask you this then, right? Because we basically having a conversation that we had last year. I wasn't involved with it, but it was my boy Young when he said Patrick Mahomes is overrated. But he didn't really mean it in the sense of like he's overrated as a quarterback. You're about to hear what I'm saying. The same thing that you're saying about the Stafford Brady situation.
I said exactly. I said the exact same thing about Patrick Mahomes.
He basically said the same thing about Josh Allen and what's his name? And Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Because he said if Josh Allen got in the same thing with Patrick Mahomes, he literally beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, if Patrick Mahomes doesn't go to Kansas City, he's out of the league in 4 years.
He's in the league I'm watching right now.
Because what happens to Patrick Mahomes, they had to coach all of the bad shit that was in him. It's still there. I mean, you see it creeping back in right now. Ever since Eric Bieniemy has left, just notice how he's not as Patrick Mahomesy as he was. He's out of control a little bit. He makes some ill-advised throws that you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's not
Why are you doing that? Where coming out of college, the definition of gunslinger was him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was really going to like, I'm just gonna throw this shit all over.
He threw for 800 yards in one game. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. And they lost.
But because
so that guy Baker.
Was
when you facing Baker, Oklahoma versus Texas Tech,
but it's just like, but his decision making wasn't the best. That's what, and it was like,
I agree.
They had to coach that out of him, and that's why you got what you got, because you had Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. Like that was the perfect marriage for him. And then with his arm, you give him a guy like Tyreek Hill, who was just a kick returner until he got there.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you had a guy with the arm that can get the ball downfield like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just perfect. It was the perfect marriage. Anywhere else, I don't think Mahomes becomes this.
You pair that with a dynamic tight end that used to play the position of quarterback that can understand holes and spots in defense.
Yeah.
It's literally
that's what I said. I see what y'all. That's what I said. I mean, I see what you're saying. But at the end of the day, bro, as a quarterback, Stafford's not bad. Talent wise,
Yeah, no, I said if we were at the combine and you was watching all of this happen, you're taking Matthew Stafford.
Oh yeah, but that's different though, because Tom Brady's career didn't take off at the combine. It took off like 03, 04-ish, like around like 02-ish, around that round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like it just he materialized, and that's where I want to like good segue into almost what I was talking about just with the quarterbacks and how the game has evolved. We'll take a guy like Randall Cunningham. Mm-hmm. The league didn't know what to do
with him. Yeah, he does
with somebody like that.
Yeah, he was literally Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. True. So when you have somebody like a Randall Cunningham and the Eagles and the offense, they just like, well, what do we do with this shit? Like, figure it out. Like he was uber, like the amount of talent that he had that coaching just didn't have the mind to coach is insane.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's why, like, again, he's one of those players where I think he played today, he'd be dumb nice. If Michael Vick, even though Michael Vick is more modern, and I think Michael Vick doesn't, he gets flack for obviously, he gets flack obviously for the dog situation, but there were some huge flaws with Michael Vick as a quarterback. But even in, like, you saw later down the years when he was with the Eagles after he got out of jail, like if you put that in today, that's damn like a top 10 quarterback in the game.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying.
Michael Vick with today's, you put Michael Vick with someone like Cliff Kingsbury or Kyle Shanahan or
Sean McVay,
you're fucked up. Like,
you're damn. It's damn near another Lamar. Yeah, I don't think he would be Lamar, but he will be like another.
Do you think Lamar Jackson is better than Michael Vick?
1,000%.
Thank you.
No ifs, ands, nor buts. It's not close. Lamar Jackson is clearly better than Michael Vick.
Thank you.
It's not close. It's not close. It's not close. Especially after what we've seen from Lamar this year, it's not close. I'm not close. Like I said, I love Michael Vick. Like,
the arm ain't there, the accuracy's not there. Come on, dog.
And he's the accuracy, Michael Vick. Come on, man. Come on. We can't talk about. Okay, the only thing Michael Vick has over Lamar Jackson is deep ball at deep ball, because Michael Vick had a damn near moon ball. That moon ball was crazy. But anything else you want to talk about is Lamar Jackson. I'm not gonna lie.
No, he's a better runner than Lamar is my guy. Do not get it twisted. Lamar is my dude. He's not Michael Vick.
He's literally Michael Vick. He's literally
I say he's not because he's better.
He's not. He's not better. He's not.
He's an upgraded. He's an upgraded version of Michael Vick.
I think a lot of people like to put Vick in, that category. And
Vick is not better than Cam Newton
because it's Michael Vick, right? He's one of the first ones we watched that outside of the Randall Cunninghams, the Fran Tarkentons, like that can really move.
He was ahead of his time.
Exactly.
That's like Vick got the aura, nostalgia, like
with the cleats, and he was a superhero. But
it put like this. I know both of y'all have seen this when they've done the start bench cut between Lamar, Cam, and Vick. Vick is getting cut.
I gotta cut Vick. I'm sorry.
No,
I can't.
I don't think Vick is better than Cam Newton.
Look, I'm not gonna be mad if you chose Vick. I mean, if you chose Lamar over Vick, I'm really not, because I think they're comparable. And just for me, I just look at it. I know what Michael Vick could have been. I guess he gets, like I said, he gets taxed for those first couple years, and them niggas ran the wishbone, dog.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Because he didn't have receivers on the outside.
That's bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, so he gets this moniker of, he was just a running back playing quarterback. And it's like, no, his best receiving option was Algie Crumpler before he ate himself into an offensive lineman.
Yeah, but I feel like again, there's some flaws with Vic that don't get talked about for real.
No, he's got flaws. I didn't say he was perfect. I never said he was perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I know.
True.
But I just think respectfully, like I don't think he's better than Cam Newton.
No, if you're going to act, I've had this. Somebody and I had this conversation. They was like, if I'm an offensive coordinator, and they was like, Mel, you had to build an offense. You had to pick three quarterbacks to run your team. Who would they be? And I said, Michael Vick, Peyton Manning, Cam Newton. Those are my three.
That's your three? I think mine would be, damn. Okay, if I just have to build my offense with, I'm picking number one. I'm picking Aaron Rodgers. That's number one. I'm picking Aaron Rodgers.
You love Aaron Rodgers,
nigga, because Aaron Rodgers is the truth.
Rodgers,
I don't care. I don't care that he's hated.
He's a bad man.
I don't care that he's look. You can say is Aaron Rodgers an a-hole? Cool. I don't care. Is a-hole? The people not like cool. 12 on that football field. That's.
I don't know. Unless he good. As long as we don't talk about the playoffs, we good.
You can say that. Okay, fine. Like, and he at least he still got a ring. Like, I'm cool. Like, if I had to build I'm starting with Aaron Rodgers. I'll probably still pick Patrick Mahomes because how creative he is off structure. Because Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. That, and then the last three could be if I'm just picking one. Nigga, you got the Peyton Mannings, fucking Lamar. If I just want to get OD with it, Josh Allen's of the world, like Cam, because Cam I think Cam's just a tiny bit worse version of Josh Allen. Like Cam Newton was crazy. I wish he didn't.
Worse version of Josh Allen.
Worse version of Josh Allen.
Cam Newton's not better than Josh Allen.
I'm sorry,
Sadly, he's not better than Josh Allen.
He's
not better than Josh Allen.
Do you think Josh Allen is better than Steve Young?
Do I think Josh Allen is better than Steve Young?
I can't do it. Josh Allen is so nasty.
The fact that you taking this long to answer the question is ridiculous.
I don't understand.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But Steve Young is a dog. That's what I'm like.
What is the appeal in Josh Allen, though? Like,
huh?
What is the appeal in Josh Allen, though?
I want to know what that is.
What is the appeal?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I don't.
Josh Allen's an elite. Josh Allen is an elite runner. That's number one.
Elite runner.
He's an elite runner. He's one of the best rushing quarterbacks to ever play the game. He's been that coming out of Wyoming. That like he's been like Josh Allen as a runner is elite. Josh Allen as a passer. You said what?
He don't know how to get down and protect himself as a quarterback, which is a problem that he's had since JUCO.
Yeah, which is a problem. I agree. But even he still is one of the best runners to do it. When you talk about him as a passer, now I think he's still an elite passer. I think he's an elite passer. I think he's been an elite passer since 2020. Does he have his flaws? Obviously, yes. But
yeah, as long as we're not in the red zone.
He got one of the best arm talents ever. He got one of the strongest arms.
You said ever. Best arm talents ever?
I'm glad you said since 2020 though, because
yeah. Yes.
Arm talent?
When it comes to Josh Allen and arm talent, yes. When it comes to him as like off-structured quarterback, yes. Like Josh Allen is one of the best. I'm not saying he's the best. He's one of
the top 100.
Yo, you see, you dragging it, bro. You dragging it. But like, he's literally the more consistent version of Cam Newton. He is, and I did a whole because I actually have the all 22 of them because I can go back and watch them. You like Cam Newton and Josh Allen are literally like the same exact type of quarterback. I just get more consistency out of Josh Allen. That's really about it. Because I think Cam is the better runner. I think people sleep on Cam as a passer because it goes to when people be stat watch the 57 completion percentage, half them shits is 20 damn near 20 drops. This shit is crazy. I guess like
he was throwing so like again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, tag and no, bro.
That's like he just didn't have he had zero weapons.
Yeah.
That's crazy, Josh Allen. Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling, bro. It might sound crazy, but I'm telling you, Josh Allen is the truth, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Josh Allen is the truth, bro. I can't even front.
Unless it's a big game.
Or
He
in the
don't
red
even
zone.
be choking. Chill out, bro. Chill out.
Or in the
Chill
red
out.
zone.
Josh Allen's still in the he's still an elite playoff performer. Chill out.
I don't know. Hey, I'm not. Look, I'm just. So if you said he has elite arm talent, give me your top 10 arm talent quarterbacks.
Like just probably just off the top of the dome.
Off the top of the dome.
You can
don't
help,
gotta be perfect.
you can help me out too because I'm you can help me out too because I'm gonna miss some. So obviously Aaron Rodgers, obviously Patrick Mahomes, Brett Favre's arm talent was crazy. I think Brett Favre was throwing piss rockets. Who else? Josh Allen is up there. We talking about arm talent.
Some crazy comments, right?
Yeah, I don't want to violate disrespect somebody for like the 9 swamp I'm missing. Because Randall Cunningham had crazy arm talent. Aaron McNair had crazy arm talent. Mel, give me some names. I'm missing something. I'm not gonna lie.
Because you rattled off like everybody who played like today, and I'm just like, that's crazy.
Nah, that's why I said help me out.
If y'all doing today, if you're doing, you feel me, all time.
No, I said all time. I just want to know.
I'm just thinking of all time. I'm just thinking of all time. Because give me something.
So what do you put Dan Marino?
Josh Allen. Oh yeah, Dan Marino. That's why I said I was gonna forget something. Obviously, Dan Marino's gonna be there. Obviously. Who else?
We go all time. You got Dan. You gotta have Doug Will in there.
I was gonna say Doug.
Doug Williams. Josh Allen's a James Harden, and I'm a James Harden fan. I'm a Houston fan. You tripping?
James, that's nasty. I wouldn't put that.
That's
I wouldn't put that on Josh Allen. I mean, he ain't James Harden bad.
It's a crazy
now,
I'm not gonna
now Aaron Rodgers, that's different.
No. Because I'm the biggest James Harden. He's not even. I'm not gonna lie. Do not put that on Aaron Rodgers' name.
A-Rod got a championship.
That 49. Okay, I'll take him off just because of the championship. I won't do that.
Don't do too much. But like,
okay, back to
the boy now. I know we've been over this line. Not too much of my boy now.
We talking about arm talent. Cam Newton's arm talent is up there.
True.
Where'd you put Derek Carr? Where'd you put Derek Carr?
As far as arm talent goes,
I don't know about top 10.
No, I'm not saying top 10.
I don't know where I'll put him, but I don't think not in these players that we're naming here. Like, nah.
But you would put Cam Newton in before.
I think he's underrated as an arm talent.
Derek Carr.
Cam Newton's arm talent?
Yeah.
Over his arm talent?
Yeah, over Derek Carr.
Yeah, I would.
That's nasty.
That's why I said I think Cam Newton and Josh Allen are the same type of quarterback. In like every way, I think Cam's a better runner, but I think as a passer, Josh is, I think, kind of clearly the more consistent passer, and he's still an elite runner. So I'll just take Josh Allen. I'll take Josh Allen. So
if you was faced with the question, it's like, yo, you got to build this team with a quarterback, and your pick, you had Josh Allen and Cam Newton. You gonna take Josh Allen?
Well, here's the thing, though. That's it's a different question because I think just because I will build one person to that don't mean they're better. For example, if I had to build an offense, Tyreek Hill is going on my offense no matter what. He can be he's wide receiver 1, wide receiver 3. He's gonna be in my top 3 receivers. Like, really? He's gonna be in the now. Is he in my top 3 wide receivers?
I was gonna get to Jay Cutler, and I wasn't thinking about Brad Johnson, but yeah, I didn't think about. But Jay Cutler, I was definitely gonna get to.
Jay Cutler, yeah, he might be a bigger finesse artist than
Jay Cutler had arm talent. He was just a bomb, but he definitely.
See, because I wouldn't do Tyreek Hill. This is just the receiver in me, because I can get the exact same thing from somebody like Randy Moss.
I mean, yeah, but
and he's 6'4".
Of course, that's what. Of course, but like I would literally pick if I had to pick, I can go with Randy. If I want to. I can literally put Randy, Jerry, Tyreek Hill. And I just have Tyreek Hill in the slot. Like it's like the fit is nasty. Like it literally go crazy. It literally will go crazy. You can literally go crazy. I will pick Tyreek Hill. Like just building a roster. Yeah,
Jerry.
There's so many things with Tyreek Hill.
See, like that's a good. That's a compare. That's the thing. It just like I said.
No.
Look, and look. Understand.
No.
Understand this. You have to understand.
Even on one.
You have to understand if Deshaun Jackson had the ability to play with somebody like Andy Reid and continue on the way he was in Philly, bro.
No.
And he had
Andy Reid. And he had Andy Reid.
Nah, he left. He was there that 1 year. He had Chip Kelly.
And 09?
He had Chip
I
Kelly.
don't think that's necessarily fair to Jack, though.
They left.
Come on. No. He
was there 1 year. He was with Andy Reid for 1 year.
No, he wasn't. So
that's not necessarily fair to D Jack, though.
What you mean?
Like, we don't all get, a Hall of Fame coach in his Hall of Fame prime, and when he leaves, you get Chip Kelly. Obviously they got a good roster over there, but the turmoil within the.
But here's the thing, though. Why, Chip Kelly is an a-hole, but Chip Kelly is a hell of an offensive mastermind. So I don't think we can't do that either, though. When it comes to that, that's why I said, I'm not gonna lie, they're two fast receivers. One is light years better than the other. Respect. Deshaun Jackson was amazing. He's
light years better.
I'm not gonna lie. 50. I'm not gonna light years better. It's not.
You think so? I think circumstance is the reason why we're.
I don't even think that. I don't think that. I don't think Deshaun Jackson was the wide receiver of Tyreek Hill, especially when Tyreek Hill started really evolving as a wide receiver. Tyreek Hill his traits get slept on because he's literally a cheetah. But when you really break down his game, bro, and you compare it to Deshaun Jackson's, I don't.
Right, because like I said, but I think because of where he went, I'm always going to bring this back to Kansas City and understanding that the circumstances and the opportunity was perfect for Tyreek Hill. Because if he was anywhere else, not Kansas City, all he did was return kicks and punts. I go back to everybody knows about about Tavon Austin. Tavon Austin got fucked because nobody knew what to do with him.
Mm-hmm. That's why he'll be Tavon. Tavon would have been great today.
Yeah, no, he'd been amazing today.
He'd be great today.
It wasn't until Sean McVay got to the Rams where they started moving him around, doing all the stuff that you need to do with him. But then there was a fight between what to do with him and Ty Gurley. And they chose Ty Gurley.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't blame him. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just saying it's that's just what happened. Instead of them trying to figure out a way to make them two coexist, they let them rock.
Yeah, that's why. But Tyreek Hill, to me, I think he's light years ahead of Deshaun, respectfully.
Yeah, no, he definitely evolved better. But I'm not going to poo-poo the Deshaun Jackson, Tyreek Hill. I mean, look, he is the all-time leading, receiver as far as deep threats go. Nobody
he's one of the best deep threats ever. But Reek, he ain't the game changer like Reek. I'm sorry, he not. And Reek and Deshaun was crazy. The Tyreek Hill, bro, is
no, he different. No, he different. I'm not saying that. Yeah, Percy Harvin is another one, but I don't really like. I think Percy Harvin he was what he was. He wasn't going to be.
If you be watching my college shows,
I do.
Yeah, we do. Well, definitely.
I'm not going to front. Percy, if you talk about Percy in the league, I don't understand how people can hate on Deebo Samuel.
But love Percy Harvin.
Exactly. That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any type of sense to me.
Right. Because if we're gonna keep it a bean, everything that you thought Percy Harvin was, that's what Deebo Samuels is.
Literally, that's why we was having this conversation in college. I'm like, y'all literally hate on Deebo Samuel in the league, and then y'all are telling me that Percy Harvin is better than Michael Crabtree in college. No, but y'all, if somebody said Deebo Samuel was better than Jamar Chase in 2021, they would literally slap you. How does that work?
That's a good. I didn't bring that up. I should have brought that up. So where do you put Michael Crabtree then?
As college receivers?
As a wide receiver.
College.
Pro. Doesn't matter. Pro.
Okay. okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. In the pro, I view Michael Crabtree as a draft bust as a pro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Word?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, because I think his career was super disappointing, especially to what he was coming out of college as. Your first year, 2K, like of course, yeah, he played with Graham Harrell. You can the Mike Lee air raid. I don't care. You as a freshman putting up 2K, 22 touchdowns.
No, Cordero Patterson is a dub. Don't put him next to Debo like that.
And shout out special teams. Shout out my dad. But what?
Yeah, no, he's a great kick returner, but on offense,
what? That's crazy. But I think when it comes to Michael Crabtree, what he did in the league, I think he only had like 2 or 3 1,000-yard seasons. True. After that, you ain't really do too much.
But we're talking about talent, though.
As a talent, I don't know where he would aim in talent as a wide receiver. That's the question. I don't know. But in college, if I had to rank Michael Crabtree as where he ranked in college because he was wilding, he's top 5.
Yeah, because him, like I said, knowing what Crabtree is or was, hands, route running, separation.
He was great at Texas Tech.
That's why I think the combat catching, like he was like that.
That's why I think he's top 5. That's why I think he's top 5. A college receiver. But yeah, to go back to it's just the Percy Harvin. Like I understand more Tavon than Percy, because even though you want to say, oh, Tavon played in the Big East, this and that, when you watch Tavon as a wide receiver,
he jumped off the screen.
He like Percy did too, but like though him as a wide receiver, I think it's night and day, 1,000% better than Percy Harvin, because Percy Harvin wasn't really running routes like that compared to Tavon. No, you already saw Tavon's last year at West Virginia. He was toting the rock just like Percy Harvin. Mm-hmm. I think he had like 700 yards rushing while having 1,200 yards receiving. Like the exact same thing Percy Harvin was doing is that people tackles because he went Dana Holgis and Geno Smith and them boys and Stedman Bailey, and he played in the Big East compared to Percy doing it when Tim Tebow in the SEC. So it's like, I don't get it.
Look, yards is yards. When you like Tavon was one of them ones.
It's the nostalgic factor, right? Like a lot of people hear the name Percy Harvin, they hear the name Tavon, and we understand the type of players that they were, but when you really look at both their games, right? Like Trent said, like the receiving factor, Tavon was different, right? Like Percy Harvin, I guess if you want to argue it, was a more dynamic ball carrier, but I guess like you can argue it, right? I think
I wouldn't even say that.
I still have Tavon, honestly, just because of the agility factor, right? Not saying that Percy didn't have the agility factor, but just Tavon and the way he was able to cut. But just looking at the pure receiving factor, right? The route running, separation, being able to stack, being able to find spots, like Tavon was different, bro.
Look, Percy Harvin, I'm gonna get real old school and nostalgia right now. Percy Harvin wasn't Rocket Ishmael.
He wasn't who?
Rocket. Now people don't know. Shout out to my boy Rocket Ishmael, man. You feel me?
You say he wasn't who?
Rocket Ishmael.
I know what he's talking about, but don't say that too loud though.
No, they can go watch it if they want to. They ain't call a nigga Rocket for nothing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just because when I'm having these convos with Bam and them, and they talking about some what's his name? Oh yeah, Percy Harvin. I got my brother who work at Florida because he not biased, but he is real. But he's talking about, oh yeah, Percy Harvin, he top 5 receiver.
No, he wasn't the top 5 receiver on the team that he played on in Florida.
I was gonna say because he wasn't even the best receiver on the team.
He wasn't better than Lewis Murphy.
Like I said, I think Percy Harvin is the definition of crazy Swiss Army knife. But it's like, how can you love Percy Harvin and then hate on Deebo Samuel? That doesn't
it doesn't make sense.
And Deebo Samuel's a better receiver than Percy.
By far.
It's not even close. Like it's really not even close. He's a better receiver and he catches better than Percy. Like it's not even like a contest.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, remember I told y'all I was pissed during the draft because Ja'Cory Brooks didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
Pissed, but he signed with Washington.
Oh, okay. Aren't you lucky?
Yeah. He's that. I don't know how he didn't get drafted. I don't know what they were looking at, but whatever. He's in Washington now. Y'all fucked up.
Yeah, Ja'Cory might cook because he struggled a little bit at Alabama, but once he got to Louisville, he was cooking.
Yeah,
he went up after that.
All right. Let's get to Uncle Colin and his bullshit.
What the Browns have is what I would call low sports self-esteem. So Jimmy Haslam, there's a lot of speculation. He wanted Shedeur Sanders. The staff drafted Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds earlier. They thought it would stop their impulsive owner from forcing them to draft in round 4 Shedeur Sanders. To me, this has always been an ownership situation, but the owner got what he wanted. Shedeur is all over video, all over the country. But when I look at Shedeur, all I can think of is Johnny Manziel, Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield. This is what happens. This is what losing causes.
A few moments later.
Shedeur is 6'2", historically accurate, and I have seen him standing around normal-sized people. He's big. He's a big 6'2". Dylan Gabriel is noticeably smaller and thinner than Bo Nix, and Bo Nix is not ideal size in the NFL. He is a very, very small guy. Shedeur Sanders, he's much bigger and much better.
All the shit that we were saying before, like, why would you do that? Like, everybody's going to check themselves when this season is over. Maybe not this season, because I don't know how much Shedeur is going to play this season, but he should. I think we didn't look at. I looked at the schedules offhand. I said by like week 6 or 7, Shedeur should be in there.
Mm-hmm.
But this is why it was never a football thing. There was no everybody before. Oh, well, he doesn't have ideal size. He doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't. I don't know what games y'all was watching, but whatever. But then you draft a 5'9" quarterback with suspect arm strength.
Yeah, the Browns are dumb. I don't know what they was doing. Yeah, that was just troll. Like niggas picking. Like even Tyler Shuck getting drafted with Shedeur. Like
all of that is retarded.
You drafting a quarterback who about to be 26.
Yeah. No, 27.
27 with injury problems.
And the Browns could have stole the draft. This is how the way that the draft went.
They could have literally drafted Travis, or they could have kept Mason Graham. I don't have a problem because Mason Graham is one of the best, if not the best, interior lineman in the draft. So I ain't have a problem with them trading back and getting Mason Graham. But if they stuck with their plan, they could have got Travis, literally, and then got Shedeur.
And got Shedeur, and then been totally ignorant because Will Johnson kept falling. You would have got Judkins and Will Johnson.
Literally.
Your team is completely transformed right now. Completely. The secondary is lit because you're going to have Denzel Ward, Will Johnson, and fucking Travis. Then the offense is going to go nuts. But the Browns did what the Browns did, and it is what it is. Tyler Shuck getting drafted before him. Didn't they take Jalen Milroe before?
Okay. Because I'm not the quarterbacks I didn't have a problem was Cam. The Jackson Dart one, I disagree wholeheartedly.
Jackson Dart, I don't care. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm a big.
I don't even think he's even close to his own, but I can see them doing that. Because even if the Giants had drafted Milroe, because again, the draft is all about talent. I mean, it's all about ceiling and talent, especially if because Jackson Dart probably not even going to play a year. Yeah, if you wanted to draft Milroe, okay, cool. Tyler Shuck, racist. Dylan Gabriel, racist. Who else went over Shedeur? That was a quarterback. Was it only those 3?
It was. I feel like it was somebody else. Dylan Gabriel, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shug, Jalen Milroe. No, that was it.
Oh, that was it. But yeah, it's just nasty. Like, that whole Shedeur shit is nasty. But I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because my thing is, okay, if the goal is we have a quarterback, but we need a quarterback for the future, and you want to go with upside, I understand why you would take Jalen Milroe. Totally makes sense. I would understand that.
Exactly.
And it makes no sense to draft a quarterback who's about to turn 27. It makes no sense to draft a dude that's 5'9". And my biggest gripe with a lot of the dudes that they got that picked before Shedeur is, if you was in college for 6 and 7 years and you were a mediocre to average quarterback in college, what makes you think you're going to be a good pro?
It depends on who the player we're talking about, though.
In 6 And I'm talking about with
Oh,
Dylan
you're talking
Gabriel.
about Tyler Shough? Oh, yeah, 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Dylan Gabriel was in there for 6. Tyler Shough was there for 7.
Yeah.
Well, the things with Dylan Gabriel was actually like pretty good at OU and Oregon. Like Shuck was like he just started to pop up.
But even with the Oregon stuff, what quarterback doesn't look good at Oregon? That's just me.
So you think it was more Oregon than the player?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we said, I mean, I get, because the way I look at it is this: if you was really that good, they would have saw that you was that good. You wouldn't have had to stay 6 years in college.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, why are you still in college, dog? Like, and the Tyler Shough, that's a whole nother thing. He 7 years and you had 3 major injuries. I'm not drafting you, dog. You out your
I'm
mind.
not drafting you, bro. There's no way I'm bringing you. So I'm bringing you to the team. I'm sorry.
Not doing it.
You're 20.
Makes no
You're
sense.
27. You've had at least 3 major injuries.
Tyler Shough, when I looked it up, this would make it so stupid. He was in the same recruiting class coming out of high school as Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, he when Tyler Shough was a freshman, I think Juwan Johnson was a junior or something like that. And then now that Juwan Johnson down the same team, Juwan Johnson's like a second or third contract in the league.
Mm-hmm. Like that's nasty work.
It is.
Like, bro, I'm
Where
not
it's
drafting.
like, you don't want to go to the league.
Like, I'm not drafting you for what? You older than Brock Purdy. Shout out to Brock Purdy for getting. I'm gonna get my brother too. He should be in the chat because we argued about this a month ago. I told him he was going to get 5 years and 3. I told him it was going to happen.
Yeah, I knew from jump he was gonna get the bag. He kept playing like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not. Come on, like I'm not. And then just off of just pure common sense, I'm gonna take the younger kid over the dude that's 27, going to be 27 years old.
Exactly. That's what I say. Don't make any sense
At all.
Like, you don't got time to develop Tyler. You got no, and especially if the Saints knew that there was a chance that Derek Carr wasn't going to play this year, and then he ended up retiring, and then that's what you draft. You deserve everything you get.
Yeah, it's over with.
Like, y'all cooked. Y'all are cooked.
Yeah, it's over with. It's definitely over with.
What else do I think that was all I wanted to get on with that, because I'm gonna let this the Shador stuff play out in mini camps. So before we end it up, who do you think surprises this year? What do you think is going to happen? Just super crazy prediction going into next season. Rookies and teams.
Super crazy prediction. Wow. I mean, I was high on the Bears last year. I think Caleb Williams is going to be damn near MVP contention this year. He should be.
I like if Ben Johnson is going to come in there and do what I expect him to do and really tighten the screws on that offense is going to look crazy.
Yeah, that shit is like, bro. And they got Luther Burden, Rome, and DJ Moore with Colston Loveland. Come on, bro. And they actually got the O-line right. Come on, bro.
I was gonna say them getting the O-line right was the biggest thing, because you can't have an O-lineman getting punched on no more, bro. That's the biggest part.
And then what running back did they get?
They did sign him. They
signed, because I was like, well, if I'm Nick Chubb, I'm like, go and just be the number 2. And
I think they still got Swift. I think Swift is good. But
yeah, I think Swift is good. I just think they don't use him right. But like I said, if you can combo him with someone like Nick Chubb, because you can move Swift. He can play out on the edge at receiver. He can play at running back. He's good between the tackles. He's a lot of things he can do. Is he a number 1? Probably not. But if you got a complimentary back, then that works.
Mm-hmm.
And why is Keenan Allen not signed by nobody? That shit's bugging me out.
He should be signed by somebody. He's getting dumb old. He should be signed.
He's 31 years old. or 32, something like that.
Yeah, he's got a lot of injuries on his half. But yeah, he definitely should have been signed.
Definitely.
Because there's a few guys I was looking at. I was like Asante Samuel Jr. He's not signed.
He's been having some bad years.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, but still, like if you know what the talent is there, and a lot of that stuff wasn't his fault. That D line in LA didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Joey or whatever Joey Bosa, like he was non-existent for a long time. Like, and then you got Khalil Mack on the other side, but Khalil Mack was doing what he was doing. But it was still, that defense was weird. It was just very weird. It should have been way better than what it was.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But that's the team that I think is going to surprise the NFL this year.
With the Bears?
No, the Chargers.
They should, bro. Because Justin Herbert gonna keep getting the slander, and I already think Justin Herbert the truth. He just literally gotta. Once he wins a playoff game, and probably wins like a divisional, he wins like a divisional. If he goes to the conference ship, people won't have a conversation again with him and Herbert. But people be hating on Herbert too much. But he be doing it to him. He be doing it to himself though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I think because he had a stupid head coach and Brandon Staley, I hate Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley coached like he really playing Madden.
Oh my gosh.
So another year with Harbaugh, and then you get the running. They're gonna run the shit out the ball. So that's
for sure. That's one thing they definitely gonna do.
You gonna get
it. And John Harbaugh and freaking Jim Harbaugh running the ball.
Yeah. So that's between Najee Harris and or Mario Hampton. Good luck with that. It's gonna be headaches for the rest of the week. And then rookies. The rookies is going to be weird because I don't know who's actually going to jump out and be like a day one starter.
Outside of Travis?
Cam and Travis, I know for sure. But I don't think Cam is going to have I think the Titans are going to be ass. And he's not. I don't think he's a change. I don't think he's going to change that. He can't change that.
Yeah, the Titans are bad. We just got to see how they move. It's just got to see for real.
But I think we're going to see. I think a lot of the teams, I think Washington should be really good this year. The NFC East is going to be a problem.
It is.
I think the NFC East is going to be a war. Whose schedule was I looking at? Was it the Giants?
They're winning 3 games this year.
They're fucked. Yeah, no, they're fucked. They're fucked.
They're winning 3 games this year.
I looked at their schedule, and I think like 4 of their first like 6 games of division games is bad. Like it's
bad.
Nuts.
Then you play the Chiefs, Chargers, Lions, Bears. It's over with.
Like them saying that Jackson Dart isn't playing this year. Yes, he is. Because you didn't put Russell Wilson you didn't put him in a good spot. Like this schedule is not good for him. Mm-hmm. It's just not good. You got a new team, a bunch of new players, young players. It's gonna be bad. They're gonna talk crazy shit about Russ for like the first 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That whole team and that whole organization, they're gonna talk shit about it. It's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah. Like it was even when I looked at the Raiders schedule looked nuts. I was like, dog, like I don't know who made the schedule for the Raiders, but they was like, y'all ain't winning shit.
It's crazy because that's actually my surprise for the season. I think the Raiders is gonna be mildly successful.
Shit, if they can make it through them first fucking 8 weeks of the season, it's just because it looked bad. They got nothing but playoff teams. Like I was like, what? I was like, what did they got a schedule like they won games last year? It's gonna be bad.
Facts.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. All right. So, any last words? Trent, thanks for coming through. I know it's late, so I'm gonna get you up out of here.
No, it's cool. What's the name? Y'all want me back? cool. Yeah, I know y'all free. Come on Monday or Tuesday when y'all free. Same time, 6:30 Central. I say appreciate y'all. Always,
definitely coming through. I gotta come through again.
Most definitely.
Because I still didn't get to go at Bama because he be saying some wild shit. Because Trent, like I said, you cut your videos up. Whoever cut your videos up, good job. Good job.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Your media team go crazy over there, man.
I'll be ready to throw my goddamn phone watching the video.
Imagine me dealing with it, bro. That shit is.
But I told you when you left, I said, look, you're a football guy. What you're gonna happen, you're gonna surround yourself with a bunch of dudes that really don't know football, and it's gonna bug you the fuck out. And it's cool, but it creates for content, so that's a good thing.
Definitely does. So yeah. But yeah,
Appreciate
y'all always.
Yep.
For sure.
Shut up. Yeah, leave. This is my nephew.
If Anthony Richardson don't start, if Daniel Jones actually gets the starting job at AR, that's gonna be such a bad look for Anthony Richardson, bro.
Yes. Then I don't know what happens to him if he loses that job.
Or he get traded.
He'll be in the UFL by next year.
Yeah, because at that point, too many teams already have quarterbacks, and I don't know what he's going to do. And then the quarterbacks that are coming up the pike from college, he's not better than none of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't see it. But he's talking about Trevor Lawrence out there in
Sunshine will be all right. Sunshine gonna be all right. He gonna be all right.
He calls him Daniel Jones of the South. Drake be wilding in the comments. But
he's talking about Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones of the South?
Yeah.
Oh, he's wilding. Yeah, he's wilding.
Yeah. Drake be wilding. He be tripping in the comments. Make sure y'all tune into the rest of the shows next week. Basket to Basket, Gentlemen's Talk. Of course, we're gonna be popping up on my boy Trent's show, so make sure you guys tune into that. We're gonna double back here on Thursday, on Friday, PBT Inside the Huddle. So make sure y'all don't miss it. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep dropping them likes and comments. We can keep dropping this dope ass comment or content. We'll see y'all later, man.
Yep. Shout out to everybody in the comments. I will see y'all next week. We out.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn